People hate Adobe, so why does everybody use their software if it's so hated? To find out, we need to go back to the beginning. It was December 1982. Two former computer scientists from Xerox PARC, John Warnock and Charles Geschke, were sitting in a garage in Los Altos, California. They had built a revolutionary page description language to fix a massive issue. Computers back then couldn't reliably talk to printers, but when they showed it to Xerox management, Xerox refused to commercialize it. So they did what any sane engineer will do. They quit. They launched Adobe, naming it after Adobe Creek, the small stream running right behind Warnock's house. In 1985, they released PostScript, a language telling laser printers exactly how to render crisp vector graphics. It was so revolutionary that Steve Jobs offered $5 million to buy Adobe outright. They refused. Instead, Jobs bought a 19% stake, licensed script for Apple's new laser writer, and single-handedly sparked the desktop publishing revolution. 2 years later, Warnock built a vector drawing tool for his wife, which became Adobe Illustrator. And Photoshop, Adobe didn't even make it. It was created in 1987 by two brothers, Thomas and John Knoll. Adobe licensed it in 1988, launched Photoshop 1.0 on Macintosh in 1990, and finally bought it outright in 1995 for $34.5 million. Add in Project Carousel in 1993, which became the PDF format, and Adobe had successfully created this digital standard for graphics and documents. By the late 90s, building good software wasn't enough for Adobe. They wanted control, so they started buying everyone. In 1994, they acquired Aldus to get After Effects and PageMaker. In 2003, they bought CoolEdit Pro and turned it into Adobe Audition. In 2005, they pulled off their biggest move yet, buying their main rival, Macromedia, for $3.4 billion. With one deal, Adobe swallowed Flash, Dreamweaver, and Fireworks. They had officially wiped out their competition. For years, a creator bought Adobe software in a physical box. You paid, you got a disc, and you owned it forever. Then came 2012. Adobe killed perpetual license and launched Creative Cloud. Now you don't own your software. Stop paying the monthly tax. You lose access to your own project files, leaving millions of professionals trapped in an ecosystem they can't leave because every studio and client mandates PSD and AI files. And if you try to cancel, surprise, Adobe charged hidden early termination fees, often taking half of your remaining contract balance just to let you leave. It got so bad that the US government literally sued Adobe for $150 million over deceptive cancellation practices. Then came the breaking point, the 2024 Terms of Service update. Adobe quietly updated their terms, implying they could access user content, including local.psd files, and work under non-disclosure agreements to train their AI models. The internet exploded. Artists, studio directors, and freelancers threatened to boycott the entire suit. The backlash was so intense that Adobe had to scramble, clarify, and walk back their language, promising they wouldn't train AI on private local work. Between price hikes, predatory fees, and AI scandals, Adobe built a software empire that people use out of necessity, not love. But the armor is cracking. Open source and browser tools like Inkscape, Photopea, and Krita are proving you don't need a monthly subscription to make professional art. So, can a professional actually survive 100% Adobe free today?